This is a Wi-Fi programmable digital timer. It is a crystal controlled digital timer and it is accurate. It does not have any buttons or LCD display, so it does not get affected by dust or extreme weather conditions. No need to touch or go near the timer to configure it. It can be configured from a distance of about 20 to 50 meters. This is very useful when the timer is marked at a place that is not easily accessible. The timer settings can be changed and controlled using a smartphone or tablet or computer. No internet is needed, not even a router or home Wi-Fi network is needed. Smartphone connects directly to the timer's Wi-Fi network. The timer is protected with a password that is user programmable. In a conventional digital timer, anybody can change the settings, whereas with this Wi-Fi timer, only the person with the password can access or change the settings. Modes and functions. It is a multi-function timer. It supports multiple modes and functions. The timer has 3 modes of operation. First mode is fully automatic, in which both turning on and turning off of the connected load is automatic. Second mode of operation is semi-automatic, in which turning on of the load is manual but turning off is automatic after the elapsed time delay. This time delay is programmable. The third mode of operation is manual, in which both turning on and off of the connected load is manually controlled. In automatic mode of operation, the timer supports multiple functions. First function is chronological or chrono timer, wherein it can be programmed to turn on and off the connected load at a specific time of the day on a particular day of the week. The chrono timer supports 16 different schedules. The schedules can be added at will and can be removed when no longer needed. Second function is cyclic timer, in which the timer can be programmed to turn on and off the load cyclically. Further, the timer supports unequal on and off times. The cyclic timer can also be programmed to start with on event or off event first after power up. The cyclic timer can also be run indefinitely or on schedule time. 2 such schedules are supported. Third function is astronomical timer, in which the timer can be programmed to turn on and off the load at sunrise or sunset. The astronomical timer can also be programmed to control the load either before or after sunrise or sunset events. Wiring. The timer is connected to the external world with 4 wires: red, blue or black, yellow and green. Red and blue or black wires together supplies the power to the timer. Yellow wire is connected to the common input of the relay. Green wire is connected to the normally open terminal of the relay. Red is connected to the supply power line. The blue or black wire is connected to the supply neutral, and the yellow is for the common input of the relay, and the green line is connected to the load. The common input is connected can be to the same supply line or different phase, or even can be a DC voltage. Load is connected to the timer load line. In case of AC, other end of the load is connected to the neutral line. For DC application, other end of the load is connected to the ground line. For driving larger loads, A1 input of the contactor connected to the load line of the timer, and A2 input of the contactor is connected to the neutral. Setting up the timer. Once the timer is powered up, it acts as an access point and shows up in the smartphone's Wi-Fi network with a network name Ocelli WTXXXX, where XXXX represents the 4 characters that are unique to each timer. Connect to this network using the provided password. Once connected, open your favorite browser and open the website 192.168.4.1. The timer is controlled through this interface. Top of the user interface has status information of the timer, like connection status, date and time, name of device, the device mode, load status, etc. Below that, it has tabs to access the different modes and functions of the timer. Chrono timer. Click on the Chrono tab to access Chrono timer. Schedule can be added by clicking on the green plus button. After adding the schedule, select days of the week, select on time and off time. Add more schedules if needed and program the values and then click Save. Schedule can be deleted by clicking on the red Recycle Bin button. Reload the page to make sure that the schedule is saved. Cyclic timer. Click on the Cyclic tab to access Cyclic timer. Select the on first or off first option to start with the on cycle, or on cycle first or off cycle first. Select Run Always to run the timer for the whole day or run for a duration. Run the timer on a specific schedule. Two such schedules can be added. Select on duration and off duration and then save. Reload the page to make sure that the changes are saved. Astronomical timer. Click on the Astro tab to access the astronomical timer. Select on and off time with respect to sunrise or sunset event. On time and off time can be either advanced before or delayed after with respect to sunrise or sunset by programming offset values. In order for astronomical mode to work properly, it is important to set the correct latitude and longitude of the location where the timer is installed. Latitude and longitude can be found from the smartphone map application. Semi-automatic and manual mode. Click on the manual tab to access the semi-automatic mode and the manual mode of the timer. Manual mode is controlled by the manual button. For each tap of the button, the load toggles its state from on to off and vice versa. This status is also indicated by the bulb icon on the button. Semi-automatic or pulse mode of the timer is controlled by the pulse mode button. For each tap of the button, on duration of the load is incremented from a minimum of 1 minute to a maximum of 60 minutes. Few seconds later, after the last tap of the button, the load will be turned on for the selected duration, after which it will be turned off automatically. The manual mode can be temporarily overridden and can be permanent by selecting appropriate option through temporary or permanent override button. The load can also be controlled manually by the means of capacitive touch button on the timer. Each short press of the button toggles the load status. Settings. Timer name, SSID, access password and time zone are user programmable. To preserve the settings, leave the field blank. Save option needs current password. These settings can be programmed to a factory default value by the continuous pressing of the capacitive touch button for more than 5 seconds. Date and time of the timer is automatically updated with the connected mobile device whenever timer settings are updated. Conclusion. We have seen the different modes and the functions of the Wi-Fi timer and how to use each of those modes and functions. We have seen how this Wi-Fi timer is convenient and secure. It is also worthwhile to know that the date and the time of the timer is automatically synchronized with the smartphone and need not be entered manually.